Unfortunately for Harry, on Netflix's new show, $1 Million Secret, he was the perfect scapegoat. And if I was the secret millionaire at that time in the competition, I definitely would have threw him under the bus, or at the very least gone with other people throwing him under the bus. And that's exactly what Lauren did, and she was smart. I think Harry's downfall was his lack of social awareness. And I think this is a generational thing, a generational issue. So the thing that made people suspicious of him was this whole, let's say, grace at the table. In Hawaii, we do this traditional prayer. That's what made people suspicious of Harry. And the people hunting the millionaire have basically been told that they must look out for odd or suspicious behavior because the secret millionaire has been given a task. Now, that in itself, him telling the whole table to say grace and say this, native Hawaiian prayer, in the real world, that would probably raise a few eyebrows. And I think the obvious one is, if we're going off stereotypes, which usually what this show is about, you're kind of doing a guess game, and most of the time you're going off stereotypes. Harry looks white, and he's saying that he does this Native American prayer. One may suspect that he may be like a hippie, phony white guy from Hawaii. And on top of that, I'm pretty sure the native pronunciation for Hawaii is Hawaii, and he's not even saying Hawaii, he's saying Hawaii. But then he's claiming up their native prayer. So it's giving phony spiritual hippie white guy. And in the real world, out of this, suspicious environment, I would be side-eyeing as well, But then also on top of that, he's not taking into consideration other people's spiritual beliefs. And I feel like a lot of older generational people do that. Like when I used to work at a supermarket, some older lady basically came in to evangelize to me and just assumed that I was Christian. Didn't ask any questions. And even if I probably said that I wasn't a Christian, I don't think she would have cared, just because in that generation, evangelizing is normal. And I feel like they have been brought up to believe that, religion or spirituality or anything of that nature automatically should be respected, and everybody should respect people's beliefs. And also respect people imposing their beliefs on people. So that's why I feel like this kind of lack of social awareness is a generational thing. Because in his head, because to him this religion is good, he's doing a good thing here. So him suggesting it, there wouldn't be an issue. And initially, some people, go along with it, they start holding hands. And then one person basically speaks up because they're clearly uncomfortable. They're like, sorry, respectfully, that isn't really my spiritual vibe. And then someone was yeah, I've never ever said grace before in my life. And then basically his whole ceremony got cancelled. But in a show where people are looking for odd behavior or secret tasks, when we're grappling at straws here, somebody has to go the first time. That looks suspicious. And in a game of deception, let's be real, a lot of people use religion and spirituality to deceive people. So that would be a red flag for me. And if I was the secret millionaire, I'd be thinking that's probably a red flag for other people. And I would definitely be stirring the pot, or at least keeping my ear out for people who are stirring the pot with Harry. Then there was another thing where he basically told everybody to put their hands in the middle, like a teamwork thing. Now, to me, this was a bit harmless, but like I said, we're grasping at straws here. Everybody trying to make an impression, which I get, but that's kind of like the second strike for Harry. So again, if I was a secret millionaire, I would be rubbing my hands together to be stirring this pot, hun. And ultimately, that was the nail in the coffin for Harry, and he ended up being voted off because everybody was like, yeah, he's fucking suspicious. There were other suspicious people, but he was the most suspicious, and I feel like, enough people threw his name out there that people jumped on the bandwagon. People just jumped on the bandwagon. First vote, better you than me, and I think that's what it was. Obviously, at the elimination, Harry was not happy. He was a bit sassy. He was talking about, you've all been played. You guys don't know what the hell you're doing. And at least I enjoyed that when he left. But Harry, You know, somebody has to go, unfortunately, and it was you. And of course, nobody knows what they're doing. This is the first elimination. And they have time to figure out, and you don't, Harry, unfortunately. But you know what? I get it. If I was shafted out of $1 million, I too would be salty. But like I said, unfortunately, Harry was a very easy scapegoat for Lauren. But I could hear it from you guys. Was he just an easy scapegoat, an easy target? Did he do himself any favours? Do you feel like there was a lack of social awareness there from Harry? Or do you just feel like it was, bad luck of the draw, that, it was unlucky, he was plotted against? Let me know what you think about Harry being the first to go.